Did you know that the Bible accurately predicts a shipwreck in Acts chapter 27, verse 39 to 44? We read about the Apostle Paul's journey to Rome, a trip full of danger and ending in dramatic shipwreck. Paul and his companions were sailing across the Mediterranean when they encountered a fierce storm that battered the ship for days. After 14 days of uncertainty, they spotted land. Desperate to survive, they tried to run the ship aground, but they hit a reef. The bow became stuck while the stern was torn apart by the waves. And a shipwreck unfolded that involved 276 people, soldiers, prisoners, and sailors. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Bible uses specific Greek words, dithylasso and epikelo, to describe the events leading up to the shipwreck. Dithyalasso refers to the reef, and it means where the two seas meet. It could also describe either a sandbank or a shoal. Underwater hazards that can be really tough to spot, but are especially dangerous to ships. A sandbank is a large mass of sand deposited by waves or currents, while a shoal can be made up of sand, gravel, rocks, or other materials. Both are shallow, underwater features that pose major risks to ships, especially in low visibility or stormy conditions. Sandbanks are often formed in shallow water, where sand gets deposited, creating ridges or bars that can be partially or completely submerged. Depending on the tide, this makes them hard to detect. And if a ship strikes one, it can get stuck or even torn apart by the powerful waves. Shoals, on the other hand, can consist of a mix of sand, gravel, and rocks, and are just as hazardous. These underwater features, especially when formed where two currents meet, create unpredictable conditions that make navigation really dangerous. Now, understanding the science behind this shipwreck helps us picture the situation more clearly. The ship's structure, for example, plays a huge role in withstanding the power of the sea. The bow is built to cut through waves, but the stern is usually more vulnerable to damage, especially in rough seas. Waves themselves carry a tremendous amount of energy. When they hit a reef or sandbank, they can cause serious damage to a ship. If the ship runs aground, it gets driven onto the shore, and depending on how hard it hits, it can result in a catastrophic consequence. What's really cool is how the Bible's description lines up with what we know about shipwrecks and the forces of nature. Science and the Bible agree on the dangers sailors face, showing us that the events in Acts 27 weren't just a story. They reflected real, scientifically proven hazards at sea. If you found today's episode interesting, please feel free to share it with a friend. Have a blessed day.